Hello, how are you? It's Sarah, and I have an update. Sort of, kind of. So, um, my head is actually doing really well. It's basically in a holding pattern, and it hasn't done anything weird. So, there's a possibility that they could just leave it alone and not put a stent in my brain, which I mean is good news, but it's kind of annoying because I'm having all these side effects, but they're not fatal, so I could deal with them. I just don't want to, if that makes any sense. So I want to talk a little bit about my stroke. Man, I wish like my cool new camera was able to work, but I put the cord for it somewhere and I cannot charge it right now. So you're getting a phone video. Hi. Um so about my brain, which is actually I think that this is pretty interesting and cool. When I was in utero, the brain was developing, and when I was born, it just didn't stop developing the way it did. What generally happens is that the extra blood vessels that supply blood to the brain in utero just kind of disappear. They vanish. They didn't in my case. And I basically have the original antique factory settings that I would have had in utero as a child and as an adult. So I basically have the blood vessels of a fetus. I have a baby bitch brain, basically. So interesting thing about that is because the blood was so used to being directed atypically, that's why I can walk and talk. Is because a random ass genetic quirk that nobody could have seen coming. So, literally, the reason why I'm walking and talking currently in the year of our Torgo 2026, there's no reason. It just happened. I just got lucky. Go figure. So that kind of leads me to the next thing. And that is I am going to try and see a new neurologist because there's some things that I have questions about, but I don't want to bother my current neurology team because they've done such a great job of taking care of me and keeping me alive and keeping me relatively healthy. I'd rather them focus on that. Like, because right now, from what they're saying, it's entirely possible that they'd be cool with me going on as is, and I could never be affected by it again until I die of old age, you know. And that's very comforting. And I want to keep them on that thought process and not bother them with something that could turn out to be nothing. But there are some things that just seem a little weird that I want to talk to a neurologist about. So I'm asking for a referral to another neurologist, and I have some questions that I have to gather. But ever since I was a little kid, about 9, I had this thing that I call tickle throat. And about right here, about here to here, I would get this sensation that as a kid I would call tickle, because that's like the closest thing I could describe it as. But it hurt because it was so intense. It was just too much. And I would scream and I would cry. And then the whole process would last for about 3 days. And what I'm wondering is, because this area right here, this is about where the original stroke happened, like right in here. And since that's so close, I'm wondering if there was something that maybe was thinning, or that just wasn't structurally sound, and that's why it blew. So that's where I'm at in my so thrilling stroke journey. If you have any questions about it and I have the answers, I will be more than happy to answer them. Just drop them in the comments. If I don't know, I'll be like, yeah, man, I don't know. Sorry. But I'm doing pretty well right now. I had some tuna fish and crackers, and that was nice. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and if I have any advice to give you, it's don't have a stroke. It's not pleasant. And, there are better things to do with your life than having a stroke. Yeah, okay. I hope everybody's having a great day, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.